In a world of glitz, glamour, and great tunes, one man brings you the magic. Andy Snowden, Stage and Screen, only on Wrexham Premier Radio.
Now, the touring production of Alan Bleasdale's classic The Boys from the Blackstuff, adapted for the stage by the brilliant James Graham, will be coming to Theatre Clwyd this Tuesday the 1st of July, and here until next Saturday the 5th of July. The tour is about to come to an end, but I caught a word with actor Jurell Carter, formerly Nate Robinson. Fans of Emmerdale will remember Nate Robinson, I'm sure. He plays the part of Logo, and I started a chat with him yesterday afternoon. I had a lovely chat with Jurell. Here he is on the Stage and Screen show, Jurell Carter. Well, this is it's been a big old tour, this one, hasn't it, for you guys? It's how's it gone for you?
Yeah, so the tour's been amazing. We started rehearsal in January in London, and then we took it on tour probably about 3-4 weeks after that, and we've been up and down the country. We was in Scotland as well. But it's been a whirlwind, but I think, it's been an amazing one. It's been intense, but I feel like we've all enjoyed it, and we've all it's been exciting to kind of see how different audiences have kind of received the show, if that makes sense as well.
Yeah. I mean, do you get a different reaction from different parts of the country? That must be fair to say.
Yeah, 100%. I think because the play is quite a hard-hitting play, it's quite a working-class play as well. It's been interesting taking it to certain places, like Glasgow, Birmingham, real kind of working-class cities, and how it has resonated with them. I think because a lot of people, a lot of audience members can kind of remember that time as well in the 80s and how tough it actually was. So, especially like Liverpool as well, obviously it's the home of the play. Yeah. And just seeing how it's kind of resonated with the audiences, it's been amazing to see.
But there must be. You can't turn the TV on at the moment without seeing something about Boys from the Blackstuff, and there's a huge height of anticipation. It's almost sold out at Theatre Clwyd, which is kind of unheard of. Are you guys aware of that before you turn up places?
Yeah, so our company manager Paul, we're really close to him, and he kind of told us it's been amazing in terms of ticket wise, and there's barely any seats left, and I feel like it's just testament to how just amazing the writing is, because obviously I didn't actually know the series, the BBC series. I didn't know it, but then obviously when I auditioned for the part and I gave it a watch, I was taken aback just by how good it was. But I can see from the numbers that we get in and the audience members that we get in, how testament to how good it actually is. Because obviously it's there in the writing, we just have to bring it to life. But the fact that it's sold out, I think audience members remember how good it was back in the day, and they're excited to kind of see the stage show of it now. So, yeah.
Yeah. But Boys from the Blackstuff, of course, anyone who's not old enough to remember it, it was written originally by Alan Bleasdale, adapted for the stage for you by the brilliant James Graham.
That's right.
It's a classic, right? Before you even get started, the name stands alone. Is that a daunting prospect at the beginning?
Yeah, I won't lie, because like I said, because I didn't know about it, I thought I need to do my research. I need to watch like all the episodes. But even after watching it, I was like, wow, this is truly something special. And then when you see, because in my head, I'm like, how could they, condense 5-6 hours of series into a stage play? But the fact that they've done it, and they've done it just amazingly well, it's it's phenomenal. And I feel like when the audience members see it for themselves, they'll be taken aback as well. It's a powerful, powerful show. And obviously, Alan Bleasdale created the original. And then, like you said, the amazing James Graham, he's adapted it. But it just works so well. You've got the light of the comedy. This is the thing, because it is quite a dark show at times. It's real. And I feel like it shows the struggles of people back in the 80s, but it also manages to find some light and some laugh out loud moments. So I feel like they get the balance so well. And like I said, I think when the audience members see it, they'll just see how well they've actually done with the writing. So, yeah.
Fantastic. I mean, to be fair to you, I was really surprised to read that there was only 5 episodes of it. I mean, in this day and age of box sets and Netflix and all the rest of it, you think anything that's going to be a hit will at least have 2 series. But this was literally 5 episodes, which is testament to how big it actually got with, as you said, it's literally about 5 hours worth of work there.
Yeah, 100%. And I feel like, because basically there's the 5 episodes, but then there's the hour before that with the whole Middlesbrough, what happened in Middlesbrough and how the kind of lads kind of fell out with each other. But yeah, it's just, for me, it's because, like you said, with all series that are going on at the minute, I feel like everyone's glued to their TV screens. And I feel like even back in the day, people were glued to this. But I feel like what's so amazing about the theatre, which we're hoping to actually do, is that, you know, you've got live theatre in front of you. You've got that energy that you can't really get from a series. And I feel like it's kind of a transactional thing where we work off the energy of the audience, and the audience work off the energy of the cast. So I feel like you just can't beat it. You can't beat any kind of series when it comes to a stage play, if that makes sense. Yeah. Having that energy in real life.
And is the stage version like a standalone story, or is it based on a particular episode, or how does it work?
Yeah, so it's basically it's been condensed. So there's big chunks from the series, and it's all kind of condensed into a shorter time. Because even I'm sure you're aware, like back in the day when it came to series or whatever, even films, that in terms of like the edits, they weren't really edited, they weren't really cut. Where nowadays everything's quite snappy and short and sharp, and I think that's what the stage play does excellently well. It keeps the kind of content of it, but it keeps a lot of things quite snappy and sharp, so it kind of engages the audience in a shorter sequel, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And I think because it was set in the 80s, around Thatcher's Britain, they called it. It was a bit of a nightmare for everybody, really. But it very much mirrors today's society, doesn't it? What's going on in your production?
Yeah, I think that's the sad thing about it. Like, you'd think, you know, bearing in mind it's over 40 years old, you'd think we'd kind of, you know, move forward a lot, but we're still in the same place with high unemployment, cost of living crisis. And I think that's it's a sad thing that we're doing a play from 40 years ago, and that's still the case in today's society. But I think that's another thing that will resonate with even the younger audience members if they come, because again, they might not know the show because they've not been brought up on it. But I feel like even when they see the show, they'll just kind of be kind of taken aback by just how how relevant it is today, which is a sad thing, but it's very real.
Yeah. And on the flip side of that, of course, back in the 1980s, we wouldn't have accepted or talked about mental health issues, especially in men. But I think any of the characters who were just trying to find work, that the mental health issues will obviously have been there. But the character of Yozza Hughes, who it became synonymous, really, with anybody that was a little bit of a nutcase. But now, if that character was written today, people would probably think it was a bit over the top, but here we are.
This is the thing, and I feel like, because obviously I was born in the 90s, so I don't really know the 80s too well, only from what I've read, but in terms of mental health, it was kind of a taboo. It was almost like, especially back in the day, I feel like, even in the show, it shows that the man, he wants to be the breadwinner. He's the provider. He's the strong, tough guy, independent, looks after his family. So any sign of any weakness, it was almost, we don't talk about that. It's frowned upon. Yeah. Where I feel like this player opens up that conversation, and it shows the reality of it. Like, men, we are human. Like, we do suffer. We do sometimes struggle. And sometimes you need, you know, someone to kind of talk to and just open up to. But I feel like this play really explores that, and it shows that the human side of mental health as well, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And you often hear people saying all the time, life was so much better when we were kids. But I suppose that depends on what sort of an upbringing you had, right? I mean, if you were brought up in a nice environment, it would be lovely. Yeah. But if you were brought up in Toxteth, which is where your play's set, right? I can imagine there's a lot of people thinking, well, you know, there was nothing lovely about being starving hungry and your dad working 3 or 4 jobs just to sort of put bread on the table.
This is what I mean, and I feel, because even some of our castmates, so like Jed McKenna, Mark Womack, they grew up around this time, and even speaking to them, they told me it was just tough, because obviously they're actually from Liverpool, in and around kind of Toxteth as well. So they kind of told me the reality of it, and it's just like you said, if you weren't didn't have a golden spoon in your mouth, you was kind of, the reality of it was you were suffering. So I feel like it's things were good for a lot of people, but for a lot of other people, they were struggling, and that's the reality of it. And this show portrays that brilliantly well, I think. So yeah,
fantastic. But you're, as you just said, you were born in the 1990s, so you won't remember the Thatcher era. But there seems to be quite a few productions, quite popular productions, with yourselves and Billy Elliot and Blood Brothers as well. They all sort of centre around that kind of that time, which they're very popular, which seems quite an interesting thing. That there's obviously an audience and an interest there for what was going on then.
Yeah, I feel like, because I feel like what audience members love seeing is like gritty dramas and real dramas, and almost kind of dramas where you can be gripped with something that is quite hard hitting, but it's raw. And I feel like a lot of this show, it carries just raw people, raw emotions, but also like a community feel. And I feel that probably today, looking at today's society, I feel like sometimes we are missing that community feel. And maybe it's kind of a reminiscent thing where, from what I hear, even from speaking to family members, back in the day, there was much more of a community feel, a togetherness, where I feel we've not really got the same kind of feel anymore. So maybe people kind of like to reminisce and have that sense of, okay, I remember what it used to be like, if that makes sense. So maybe that's could be another reason why it's popular, maybe.
Yeah, I think you might be right there.
Yeah.
Before I let you go, you've done exceptionally well in your career. You left college in 2016, did a couple of TV jobs, and then most famously, I suppose, went into Emmerdale as Nate Robinson for 6 years. Is it 6 years?
5 years, just over 5 years.
Right. So,
yeah.
Is it? Would you say there's a difference in technique or how you approach a character between a TV job and a stage one? Is there a difference, or is it much of a muchness?
Yeah, so well, basically with theatre, what I love with theatre, there's almost like an arc in terms of like, obviously, of course, there's an arc with these TV characters, but there's an arc like live, if that makes sense. So it's like it's a different kind of beast. I call stage a beast because it is a beast. Like anything can happen, anything can go wrong.
Yeah.
But it's just that adrenaline that's pumping through your body. You've got a live audience sitting right in front of you. So I feel like it just requires a different level of stamina, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And just to kind of go on that journey, well, I feel like I've been tested massively, and even after doing this job, because we finished in literally a week today.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've taken so much from it, and I feel like every actor should do stage, because I done it in drama school, but I feel like it's a different level getting out there into the professional environment and doing it. So it's tested me, but I feel like it's just that it's building that stamina and also just having that freedom to play as well, which you can do on set, but I feel like I said, with a live audience, like you can't beat that live feeling. So yeah, it's been amazing.
Yeah. And I interviewed Francis Rossi from Theatre Clwyd a few years ago.
Okay, yeah.
And he was talking about when he went on Coronation Street, and he said he was amazed at how amazing soap actors were, and he said it was all the learning of the lines. You learn the lines once, you do it, and then it's gone. And he said he couldn't get his head around that, because obviously what he did and what you're doing right now, you've got to do the same thing every single night, every night.
This is the thing, and I feel like a lot of actors in soap, they kind of don't get enough credit, because I feel like it's relentless at times, especially when you're busy. But it's almost I fully relate to what he's saying in terms of the line learning. Like there's so much to kind of take in. It is almost, and there's not much rehearsal time, so it's not far off. I'll be honest, it's not far off theatre, because you come onto set, you do a line run, do a rehearsal blocking, and then straight away you're kind of shooting. But in terms of the lines and the scenes, there's some tough stuff that might come at you, but you don't really have much time. You kind of got to think on your feet and be fast, and just how fast paced it is, and some of the stuff that the soaps pull out, it's amazing. So I feel like soaps as a whole, they don't get enough credit, and I feel like for a long time it's been looked down on. But I feel like once you do it and you see just how tough it is and how amazing it is, I feel like you definitely have respect for it.
Fantastic. Boys from the Blackstuff are coming to Theatre Clwyd on Tuesday the 1st of July. Wow, can't believe it's July already.
Tell me about it, tell me about it. I was saying the same thing to one of my colleagues the other day, and I was just like, how are we nearly finished this tour? And it's been 6 months already, so yeah, time's flying. Is there talk of an extension? Is that on the cards? No, I don't think it is. I can see them doing it potentially again, but I don't think there's any extension on the cards at the minute. So I think we've kind of been up and down most cities as well, to be fair. So I think that's the end of the run. Right. Okay. So Tuesday the 1st of July until next Saturday, as you say. Jurell Carter, been a pleasure to speak to you, mate. Thanks ever so much for that. I really appreciate it. No, thank you, man. And apologies about yesterday as well. I think, like I said, I think it was a miscommunication. But yeah, thanks for having me on today, man. Not a problem. You take care of yourself. Cheers. You too. Take care. Bye-bye. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye.
Jurell Carter from the touring production of The Boys from the Blackstuff will be coming to Theatre Clwyd this Tuesday. I'll get you some deets up in a mo. The Bill Kenwright, in association with the Liverpool Royal Court and National Theatre's production, highly successful tour of Boys from the Blackstuff, will be coming to the Theatre Clwyd this Tuesday the 1st of July, and will be here until the 5th of July. As we said earlier, there's not many tickets left for this one. They are selling like hotcakes, so if you want to get them, you better get your clogs on. Box office number for Theatre Clwyd then, 01352 344 101, 01352 344 101. Go on, support your local theatres, ladies and gentlemen. They won't be there forever if you don't.
Reel to reel, stage to stereo. Andy Snowden brings the drama to your dial, only on Wrexham Premier Radio.